Stay tuned and let's check out this Marvel Legends Abomination wave, Mach-I. Pow and welcome back to the channel, Dan Who Reviews. As always, my name is Dan W. Make sure you are following me on Instagram at It's Dan Who. Today we continue to look at this Marvel Legends Abomination Build-A-Figure wave, aka the Gamerverse wave, but I am focusing on the comic book characters, and today I'm looking at Mach-I. Now we have seen this character before, but not in this particular character design, and I shall explain all as we go along. But you can see again in the box, no accessories at all apart from the Build-A-Figure piece, but the head does look impressive. Now I do like this character design, and on the side we can see it again in comic form, and again on the back in a promo image, and we get a little right that reads, Abner Jenkins suits up in his mobile armoured cyber harness as Mach-I. Now as I said, Abner Jenkins is a character we've seen before, but not in this character design. So stay tuned, as I will be doing the Who Is He segment in this review so we can show off more about this character. But as always, here's a list of all the figures in this wave you need to complete the Abomination Build-A-Figure. Today we're reviewing Mach-I. So as I said, I do like this character design. If you're a fan of the Thunderbolts, so will you. But yeah, let's open him up. So here we have the Mach-I out of the box, looking very nice. But before we look at him, he does come with the Build-A-Figure head for the Abomination Build-A-Figure. Now this is of course the Gamerverse Abomination, but it is looking very nice. So obviously stick around to the channel, find the playlist, all of that good stuff, and I will do a full review once I've reviewed all the other figures in this wave. Today of course is all about the Mach-I, Abner Jenkins. Now we have seen this body mold before, used with the Ultimate Beetle way back when, and even with Ultron, but I do think it's a fair reuse here, as it does work for this character design. Now I thought this back piece would be a separate piece, the wings would come off, but they don't. They are attached to this sort of white harness up here. I like the head sculpt. The eyes could have been a bit better, it could have been a bit more of a metallic red maybe, but it's got the little antenna. You can see the bubble sort of design still across the head. It's like a bubble mohawk, shall we say. But yeah, obviously this is Mach-I when Abner joined the Thunderbolts, and it's really good. I wish we got some interchangeable hands, as you're going to want this guy in a flying pose maybe, and those sort of cupped hands never work great for a flyer. But you can see that this is on a separate, well, it's not separate, it's attached to the top sort of white vest here, but it's made of a soft rubber, so you can actually get the arms all the way up, and it's not going to hinder the articulation, which is always a nice touch, and I think that works out quite well, because I don't mind it being a little bit bulky, as this is obviously a mech suit, so there's a guy in there wearing it, so it can be a little bit more bulkier. But yeah, let's zoom in, let's check out those details. So here's a closer look, and as I said, I do quite like the helmet design. You can see like the respirators in the mask, and then he's even got that antenna on the side of the head. He's got a mohawk of those little dots as well. It would have been good if the eyes were a bit, that visor was a bit more metallic. There's a couple of different shades of red in there, and I'm not sure if that's intentional or what, but it doesn't look too bad. I like that my Thunderbolts logo is actually printed on somewhat properly. I've seen some people with that misprinted down here somewhere, so I'm glad that actually looks like the Thunderbolts. As I said, the shoulder pieces are rubbery and they're attached to the harness on the top there. The back piece doesn't come off, but it looks decent enough, just white with some sculpt. Again, a darker wash would have brought all this sculpt highlighted out, but I guess they wanted a clean sort of crisp look against the blues and the whites, and it works. Down there, you can tell that this white is painted on compared to this one, as it's a different shade. It's more of a cream, so I'm guessing this is white painted onto the blue plastic, where this is actual white rubbery material on the plastic sort of body mold. But we're getting these hands, which again, if you've got the Ultimate Beetle, you've seen these before, and I quite like these because they're like blasters or whatever on the wrists. But it works down to the legs, and again, we've seen this body before. It's the exact same. The only difference is this upper body part with the harness and the wings and the helmet, but the rest of the body seems exactly the same. But yeah, mine looks all right, to be fair. The paint works well because mine Thunderbolts logo's on point. So yeah, it would have been good for that to come off, but I guess if I'm going to have my Beetle in any way, it's going to be maybe posed in a flying stand. And before we move on, I thought it was best to show you that you can get this guy in a decent flying pose. I don't have a flight stand to hand, but I will just show you that, look, the head will bend all the way up and there's enough crunch on the abs where you can get him actually looking forward. So if he's looking flat on, you can see his eyes out of the wings, and that makes a nice silhouette. And there's enough ab crunch there to get his feet out, stick out his toes, and then this is soft enough on the shoulder where you can literally get the arms up if you wanted to. But yeah, I think it works really well. So if you wanted to get this guy on a flight stand, he will pose nicely for it, flying amongst the rest of your collection. So let's get into it, shall we, and learn a little bit more about this guy, because we've seen him before, but not in this form. So let's ask the question. Mach-I, who is he? This is the part of the video where we ask the question, who is he? And I try and give you a little bit of information about the character this figure is inspired by. So Mach-I, who is he? Well, real name Abner Jenkins has gone by many names in the Marvel Universe, but this character design is the Mach-I. First appeared in the Incredible Hulk 449 in 1997. As a skilled mechanic, the Mach-I is the first of many armoured mech suits, giving him superhuman strength and the ability to fly. Formerly the Beetle, the Mach-I suit was created when Abner joined the Thunderbolts. So there you go, I hope that helps. Again, I do not claim to be an expert, but it is nice to have a little bit of information about the characters these figures are inspired by. So, Mach-I is Abner Jenkins. We've seen him before, as I've just explained, and this is how, as the Beetle. So obviously he was the Beetle, he joined the Thunderbolts, he upgraded his armour, he is a specialist mechanic engineer after all, and it gives you this sort of mech suit. Now we have got another version of Abner, and it is of course the ultimate Marvel version of the Beetle. So this guy here, even though it resembles Mach-I more, this is actually the ultimate version of this classic Beetle here. But the Mach-I uses all the same body parts, it's just got an updated sort of chest piece, but the rest of the figure, as you can tell, is the same as this guy. Now the wings do come off on this ultimate version, which helped. It would have been good for the wings to come off here, but they don't, which is a bit unfortunate, but I'm going to probably have my Mach-I in a flying stance anyway, so I'm not too bothered. But yes, here we have our Beetles, or Abner Jenkins. Now this is the comparison I wanted to see. We are starting to see the Thunderbolts slowly build in Marvel Legends form, and these are looking good together. So we've got Citizen V, Mach-I and Songbird, three classic members of the Thunderbolts, and again, them standing together, I love it when you can start to fill out teams for your shelf, and I'm definitely going to have these three very close together on the shelf, looking nice. And for the last comparison, here we have them compared to the other two figures I've already reviewed in this wave with Leader and Rage. And again, three new comic book characters I didn't have in my collection. Always happy for that, so no complaints from me. All three of them, great representations of their characters, looking good. So final thoughts from me, I'm really liking this Mach-I figure. I've seen mixed opinions online, but as I said, for me, if it's a good representation of the character it's meant to be, and you can get him in poses that you want to pose him in, then happy days, no complaints. I'm going to definitely pose him with my Thunderbolts, and he is not going to look out of place at all. So you let me know what you think in the comments below. Are you a fan of Mach-I? Are you a fan of the Thunderbolts? What Thunderbolts characters do you hope Hasbro give us in figure form soon? Always curious to hear your thoughts in the comments below. But if you want to see more Marvel Legends reviews and all the other figure reviews in this wave, check out the videos tab, playlist, but most importantly, please, please, please hit that subscribe button. Thank you very much. And if you want to support the channel that little bit more, you can on Patreon, links in the description below. Much appreciated. But as always, my name is Dan W, and I will of course see you on the next one.